Unafraid Show. It's your boy, George Reister in the building. Thank you guys for joining me this morning. It's glorious here. If you're here in LA, it's a rainy morning this morning. But I appreciate your time, appreciate your energy. Thank you guys for joining. We got a bunch of good things up for you guys today. So, had an error with some streams, huh? Okay, now we're back. Got a bunch of really good things on track for you guys today. College football preview, the Pac-12 preview. If you guys noticed, got the Unafraid Show t-shirts in today. So guys, make sure you guys go to unafraidshow.com, hit the shop button, Unafraid Tees there. But I want to get right into it, right into the Pac-12 preview. There's an article on unafraidshow.com about and it will be up there every week. Everything that you need to know about the Pac-12 before you watch games this weekend. Everything that you need to know. So there's this schedule. So we got Arizona at Washington last night. I'm sorry, Arizona at Utah last night, which we'll break down in a minute. Washington at Oregon, USC at Cal, and Colorado at USC. So that means Arizona State, Oregon State, Stanford, and Washington all have byes. And right now, and we also got the standings up there as well. So right now, Washington State, and Stanford all control their own destiny in the North. If they win all the rest of their games against each other, then they'll win the division. And then you got Oregon, who is the second highest ranked Pac-12 team, and they need to win all the rest of their games and have Washington lose one more conference game to win the North Division. For Colorado, only Colorado and USC control their own destiny in the South. So if they win all their games, they're Gucci. Also, the bowl projections, the USA Today bowl projections, they update them every single week. And right now, it's got Oregon versus Penn State in the Rose Bowl, Washington versus Wisconsin in the Fiesta Bowl, Stanford versus Michigan in the Holiday Bowl, the San Francisco Bowl, Washington State and Nevada, the Sun Bowl, Arizona State versus Florida State, which really could be an interesting matchup. The Cheez-It Bowl, Utah versus Iowa State, the First Responders Bowl, Cal versus Wake Forest, and the Las Vegas Bowl, USC versus San Diego State. Earlier this week, you guys know every Wednesday, the Unafraid Show Pac-12 power ranking comes out. And right now, we got Washington at 1, Washington at 1, Oregon 2, Colorado 3, USC 4, Washington State 5, Utah 6, Stanford 7, Arizona State 8, Arizona 9, Cal 10, UCLA 11. They jumped up a spot over Oregon State after their close loss against, I gave them a moral victory against Washington. So the full rankings are up there as well. And then we also got the Pac-12 offensive stats and defensive stats, the ones that matter. So right now, we got the offensive plays per game, total offense, which Oregon's leading, Colorado second. I mean, like, these are teams putting up 500 yards of total offense every week. And then you got Washington at number 6, 442. Arizona State got shut down last night despite averaging 445 yards. This is where the schedules like manipulate and throw everything off. Like, they throw everything off because you're sitting there like, okay, like, how are you averaging this many yards per game when you and then you can't do it against good competition because you have not played anybody. I mean, this is true of Alabama. This is true of Georgia. Same thing is true of Oregon. Like, if you don't play anybody, then yes, your stats are going to be skewed. Like, it is, like, that's just the truth. And I wanted to get into hold on, let me close this real quick. I wanted to get into the game specifically themselves. So the game that wrapped up last night was the Arizona and Utah game. it was shocking to me because for the second week in a row, Utah has put up 40 points. How in the hell Utah, who couldn't punch their way out of a paper bag offensively, is putting up this many points? I will give you an answer. A simple answer. It is not that Utah is some sort of magical team at some point in time. You just have to think about it. Arizona, going into the game, was number 10 in the Pac-12 in terms of total defense, yards per game allowed, at 428. So if you allow that type of offensive production, people are going to score points. They are not good in terms of scoring defense. They were number 10. So we're not going to act like Utah is some sort of like offensive, like they figured it out offensively. They haven't. They just played bad competition. Like they played poor defense. Poor defense is the last 2 weeks. That's why, because Stanford's defense is not exactly a world beater right now. They are putting up good numbers at all right now. But you do have to give credit for people winning games and putting up good points. So Tyler Huntley, the Utah quarterback, had a good game. Moss, their running back, 2 good games in a row. Like if they continue to play like that, then yeah, you could say they do have a chance in the South because they still have to play USC as well and Colorado. So they give them a shot, right? They give you a shot to win the Pac-12 South. So I guess on some level you do control your own destiny. And then also Arizona was without their quarterback. Like Khalil Tate threw 4 passes, then was out of the game hurt. So like there's no, but the question is, who is to blame for this? Who is to blame? Is this Kevin Sumlin? Because his offensive coordinator, he's a hands-off offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator kind of coach. Mazzoni is his offensive coordinator, and he's not doing anything with this offense. So I think that's where the blame lies. If you're wondering what's going on with Utah, if you're wondering what's going on with Arizona State. The biggest game in the Pac-12 today, clearly, well, there are 2 very important games. I want to talk about that for a second. The 2 very important games in the Pac-12 have national championship level implications. That's Washington and Oregon. Because first of all, Washington is in scoring range. Washington is in striking distance for the top 4. They're ranked number 7 right now. Got Oregon at 17. And the winner of this game has a leg up in getting in the college football playoff. And then the even more important game is the Colorado USC game to the Pac-12. The reason why this game is so important is because if USC wins this game, it affects who is going to win the Pac-12 South. And the Pac-12 needs Colorado to stay undefeated as long as possible. Because if you get an undefeated Colorado team going into the Pac-12 championship, they'll be a top 5, top 6, 7 team at least. And then you're going to have Oregon or Washington playing against Colorado, an undefeated team, which will boost you into the college football playoff. So the Pac-12 makes the college football playoff if Colorado stays undefeated. Whether they win the Pac-12 championship or whether they lose in the Pac-12 championship, if they stay undefeated, they win the championship. The Pac-12 gets into the playoffs. So the Oregon-Washington game played in Eugene this weekend. Going to be oh my God, dude, Oregon fans have been waiting for this game for God knows how long. And I will be giving out, after the game, I'm going to have a contest, the best memes. Whoever does the best meme. Oh, Sammy Parker, no Pac-12 team will make it to the playoffs. Oh, Sammy, stop, bro. I just gave you a scenario, bro. I just broke it down for you. If Colorado stays undefeated, the Pac-12 makes the playoffs. 100%. Guarantee it. You can book it, bro. I'm going to be having a contest after the game. You guys know how I asked you guys to either describe the game in 3 words or give a meme for it. And I will be giving out these t-shirts, the DGDU. Know what it stands for? Don't get ducked up. Don't get ducked up. So I will be giving that out tonight to whoever has the best meme, gif, or describes the game, whichever we ask for at that point in time. I think that Oregon wins this game. They're 3.5-point underdog. They're playing in Alton Stadium. They're super mad. They're bitter. They are frustrated with everything that's going on since beating Washington 12 years in a row. And I was at the Washington-UCLA game last week. Washington is a solid team defensively, and I had them ranked as the second best defense in the entire country. But against UCLA, maybe they were looking forward to Oregon, something. UCLA, who averages under 100 yards rushing per game. I think they average like 85 rushing yards a game. UCLA ran all over Washington, which would be a huge concern because that's what Oregon is going to do. They're going to try to road grade you. I would be concerned if I were Washington about the Oregon game and about how we played against UCLA. And if you are Oregon, the thing that you have to do is, because Oregon is not the best team in the Pac-12 against the pass. They're really stout against the run. However, sometimes when those corners get in one-on-one situations, balls get caught. That's just the truth. That's not a knock. This is just reality. So Oregon is going to have to stay home and keep a safety over the top for play action passes because that's what Washington does. That's how they take their shots. They line up in 2 tight ends and they try to strike it rich, try to strike it deep. They're not going to line up in 4 wides and let Jake Browning kind of try to dart you up because that's not his specialty. But you do have to keep Jake Browning in the pocket on 3rd down because he will scramble for 1st downs. So again, we will have the DGDU shirts available after the game for a lucky winner. Cal, UCLA. UCLA is at Cal. I keep trying to find spots for UCLA to win a game. Last week, I thought they had a shot with Colorado. Nope. Well, actually, no. 2 weeks ago, Colorado. Then I didn't think they had a chance against Washington, and they kept the game close and had a chance. But UCLA, I think that they do have a chance against Cal. Cal's favored by a touchdown. They're playing at home, and they got to shock somebody at some time. I just refuse to believe Chip Kelly's going 0-12. I just refuse to believe it. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, their freshman quarterback's playing well, and Cal's quarterback, McElwain. He's a fabulous runner. He's Khalil Tate 2.0. Problem is he throws the ball to the other team. If he continues to throw the ball to the other team, they will not win. But UCLA is going to have a lot of trouble containing him because they couldn't contain Jake Browning last week. They could not contain Jake Browning at all on 3rd down. They got off the field so many times, so it has to be frustrating for them. Next game up we got the Colorado USC game. So many people are just discounting Colorado, and I'm one of them. I refuse to believe in Colorado until Colorado beats USC. If Colorado beats USC, I will believe. And not a second sooner. I will not believe until they beat USC. I will not. Simply because Colorado's opponent's records is awful. And my history with Steven Montez is not good. Steven Montez has not necessarily been the most accurate and efficient quarterback in the college football. So I'm nervous about Colorado. This will be and And as soon as I buy into Colorado, you know what's going to happen? I'll be the jinx and they'll lose. Games at USC, 7:30 tonight on Fox Sports 1, out here on the West Coast, 10:30 on the East Coast. So a lot of people will be sleeping watching Colorado. That might be a good thing or a bad thing. But in this game, I still got USC in this game. I think their athletes are going to be too much. Laviska Shenault, though, the wide receiver for Colorado. USC's defensive secondary is not that great. Like, they got Biggie Marshall, but he hadn't had that great of a year this year. He played better last year. Jack is gone. You know, like, this USC team, this is a make or break game for them. Because either they're going to trend back in the direction like they did with Sam Darnold 2 years ago when they went to the Rose Bowl. They started out, 1-2, finished up 10-2, then went to the bowl game and beat Penn State. Great season. But if they fall to 3-3 and lose to Colorado, the Boo Birds are going to be out. You're going to have people demanding Clay Helton get fired. Well, even more people, I should say. So that's the Pac-12 for this week. And in college football, I want to break down my picks for college football this week. I got Oklahoma State minus 6.5 over Kansas State. I got Notre Dame. I got Pittsburgh plus 20.5 points against Notre Dame. I don't think they're going to lose by more than 20.5 points because we might get some garbage time touchdowns and all that. Oregon getting 3.5 points against Washington. I love this bet. I think Oregon wins straight up. I would take Oregon plus and giving a point. That's how confident I am in this game. LSU, Georgia. Georgia's favored by 7.5 points. I don't think Georgia is nearly as good as people think they are. I like LSU and the 7.5 points. UCF, Central Florida, minus 4.5 against Memphis. Memphis has not been playing dope this year. UCF is going to crash the college football world if they stay undefeated. They've won like 19 or 20 straight games. Yeah, 19 straight games. I like UCF, minus 4.5. I like them. Number 9, Texas. Texas versus Baylor. Texas is giving up 14.5 points. I like Texas. Texas is going to beat Baylor by more than 14.5 points. Texas A&M is playing South Carolina. South Carolina is severely overrated. Texas A&M is favored by 2.5 points. I got Texas A&M in that game. Penn State favored by 13.5 points over Michigan State. Michigan State cannot score. Do you understand? They cannot score. News flash. It just lost to Northwestern last week after having multiple opportunities. Nope, not going with you, Michigan State. Got Penn State. Purdue, Illinois. Purdue's favored by 10.5 points over Illinois. Illinois has won 3 games this year. Miraculously, I like Illinois and the 10.5 points. Cal at UCLA. I do believe that this is a chance. I do believe that this is a chance for UCLA to win a football game. Cal's favored by 6.5 points. I like Cal in this game simply because McElwain, their quarterback, cannot be stopped by UCLA. UCLA can't stop a nosebleed running the football. And they can't, particularly the quarterback. And that was proven last week with Jake Browning. And Jake Browning isn't a tenth of the athlete that McElwain is. We got Alabama, 6-0, putting up 56 points a game. Favored by 28.5 points over Missouri. I like Missouri in my 28.5 points. Why? Alabama averages 56 points a game. They're favored by 28.5. That means that Missouri can't score 27 points. I do believe in garbage time too. What? Alabama gave up more than that against Arkansas. Come on, man. No way, Jose. I got Missouri in this game. That's a sucker bet. West Virginia, my upset of the day. West Virginia not only doesn't cover against Iowa State. Iowa State beats West Virginia. West Virginia played like crap last week against Kansas. Will Grier, the Heisman guy, threw 3 picks in the red zone. I like Iowa State straight up. 2-3 Iowa State because they're giant killers. They're not a win the conference kind of team. They are a giant killer kind of team. And then lose to all the teams that they should play, that they should beat. Miami favored by 5.5 points against Virginia. I like Miami in that game. And the 5.5 points. Michigan, Wisconsin. Wisconsin lost to BYU because they try to just ball control the game, eat up the clock. It doesn't work like that. This is not 1952. This is antiquated brand of football, and you lose games when you let people stick around and stay close when you can't pass the football very efficiently. Michigan playing good with Shea Patterson at quarterback. I like Michigan and the 7.5 points that they're giving Wisconsin. They are going to drown Wisconsin. I'm letting you know. Ole Miss and Arkansas. Listen, this is bad team versus bad team. Arkansas stinks. They lost to North Texas. They've lost to everybody. But Ole Miss's defense is not particularly great. But I still will take the 6.5 point. Give the 6.5 points in this game. I like Ole Miss. Finally, USC, Colorado, -7.5. I got USC. I got USC in this game. I told you guys why a few minutes ago. That's where I'm at with that. You guys, thank you guys for joining me. Unafraid Show. We'll be back for the post-game wrap-up. You guys already know how we do. Appreciate your time. I know it's early. I know you had to turn off game day for a second. Peace out. Catch you guys later.